It may have looked bleak late in that third period, but the Leafs complete the comeback as they win it 3-2 in overtime over the New York Rangers at Scotiabank Arena tonight. And with the W, the Leafs have now won a couple games in a row. They're 7-2-1 in their last 10 games, and they're 30-11-8 on the season. A really nice finish to this game for the Buds, and they found a way to beat Igor Shesterkin tonight. So really good job overall. Again, I didn't think it was their best game out there. A lot of turnovers in this one, but either way, they did what they needed to do. They found a way to win. Look, it's these January Blues. You just got to find a way to get points, get wins where you can, and they've beaten Igor Shesterkin tonight and Ilya Sorokin a couple days ago. So I'm proud of these guys for beating up on both New York teams and winning these games, all right? But let's break down this one, all right? First period, less than 3 minutes in, Ilya Samsonov passes the puck off the boards to Alex Kerfoot. And as that pass goes, Pontus Holmberg, who's basically coming back into his own end, right in front of his net, right as the pass goes, spins around and goes back towards the neutral zone, and he is flying right when he turns and goes. So the puck goes to Kerfoot along the boards, passes it up to Joey Anderson, and Joey Anderson knows Holmberg is flying through the neutral zone, so he gives him a nice pass right on the tape, and Holmberg's in full stride. He is flying, and both defenders are caught because they don't see this happening till it's too late. And he stays on the backhand. Shesterkin's kind of biting short side. But Holmberg goes far side backhand and beats Igor Shesterkin on the first shot of the game. And I'm like, Pontus, that was gorgeous. And the Leafs are up 1-0. Pontus Holmberg from Joey Anderson and Alex Kerfoot at 2:27 of the first period. Really nice start for the Leafs. Samsonov had to make some big stops late in that, throughout the first period, really. And the Rangers have shot the Leafs 9-8 in the first. And in the second period, where the Leafs usually dominate, they dominate middle frames. So you go into the second period. And just over 2 minutes in, Filipino, right off the face-off, buries it. You don't see that very often where a guy right off the face-off just fires it on. But if you watch the replay, right before the puck is dropped, he turns his hands over. And if you look at it, if you pause it right when he turns his hands over, you're like, okay, well, how's he going to win a face-off like that, right? You can't go through your legs with that unless you kind of go over the top. But it's just it would be really awkward. So all you can do is shoot it from that spot. And he does. And Sam catches Samsonov off guard, clearly catches David Kampf off guard because he obviously loses the face-off badly. And Filipino buries it, 2:10 in, and it's a 1-1 game. Can't blame anybody on that. It's just an interesting play from Filipino. 6:31 in, and this goal, the second one, was a disaster. The Leafs turn the puck over 2 or 3 times inside their own end. And you're like, man, you are asking for trouble. And it looks like they're going to get the puck out. All 3 forwards fly the neutral zone before the puck's there. And it doesn't get there. As it's turned over just inside the Leafs' blue line. Now those forwards got to turn around and come back, and it's going to be too little too late as Gio steps up on his guy, who passes it over to the guy on the far side. And then Justin Hall, it's kind of a 2-on-1. Justin Hall kind of just goes right to the guy, and I'm not really sure why he would do that. Maybe he didn't realize the dude was backdoor. I don't know. But he does that, and the pass comes to Filipino on the far side, and he beats Ilya Samsonov. Can't blame Sammy there at all. Just complete team defensive breakdown in all aspects. The guy is flying the zone before the puck's even out of the zone. That's tough. In a 1-1 game, and your D-core not playing defense and just going for a hit, going for the guy. I mean, that's great. Yeah, I like the physical, but it's going to be a defensive breakdown. No, thank you. And now the Leafs trail 2-1, and after that goal, I thought about it, and I'm like, the Rangers' D-core is big, and they're sound, and their team is sound. They got Igor Shesterkin in the net, a Vezina Trophy candidate. Why do I feel like this is not going to go well? And for the rest of the second period, it doesn't go well. You can't beat Shesterkin. The face-off, though, was a disaster in the first. The Leafs were able to come on as the game went along. But shots on goal were 16-11 in favor of the Buds in the second period, and it didn't feel that way. Obviously, when you lose the period 2-0, it's never going to feel like you dominated the period, obviously. But you go in the third period, and again, I still have this mindset, right? Of like, I don't know if we're going to score again tonight. And as the period goes along, and that thought becomes, it's probably not going to happen. But with just over 4 minutes to play, Nylander gets the puck or he goes up to the blue line and floats it on. It's never a bad idea to just fire the puck on the net with bodies in front. Chaos could ensue. And Nylander floats it on. It's tipped by John Tavares, and it goes down and to the right. Or I guess, would it be Shesterkin's left, I think? Anyways, down and to the far side. Great stop by Igor Shesterkin, but he kicks it right to the neutral zone, which again, that's a reactionary save. And Timothy Liljegren is coming down from the blue line right as the puck comes floated on from Willie Nylander, and he gets body position on his guy, and he finds that loose puck and he roofs it. A tough shot, too. His body was a little contorted there, but he roofs it on Igor Shesterkin, and we are tied at 2. And I was jacked up after that goal because I'm like, holy crap, they tied the game. We could get a point out of this. That's my mindset at that point, is get a point. And they almost had 2 in regulation as Tavares gets the puck right in the slot and he rings it off the bar. And it's like, you couldn't have gotten closer to ending that with 1 second left. Then the Leaf brain starts going. It's like, you were that close to winning the game? You're probably going to lose this game. Leafs go in overtime. By the way, shots and goal were 10-8 Leafs in favor of the Leafs, obviously, in the third period. And we go to overtime. And they go to David Kampf, Mitch Marner, and Timothy Liljegren. David Kampf wins the faceoff, and that is so crucial in overtime, getting possession to start. And the puck comes back into their own end, right? Timothy Liljegren has it, drops it off for Mitch Marner, who exits out of the blue line, gets through the neutral zone, enters the offensive zone, and David Kampf looks like he's going off for a line change. The Rangers start snoozing, no one skates. Mitch Marner cuts to the front of the net and buries it. What a goal from Mitch Marner, the overtime winner. And the Leafs win at 3-2 over the New York Rangers at Scotiabank Arena tonight. And Mitch Marner, just witchcraft and wizardry. Fantastic stuff. 19 seconds into OT and a gorgeous goal from Mitch Marner. This is my theory on this goal. I could be wrong, but my hockey mind's starting to go, right? When Mitch Marner enters the zone, watch David Kampf. He goes to the bench, and on comes Austin Matthews, as you'd expect, right? And if you're the Rangers, you're thinking Mitch has got it. You know, he's going to look for Austin Matthews. They're going to look to set up, and they're going to look to make a play. Clearly, that's what they were thinking, or at least from my eyes, I thought so. Because they were all snoozing. No one was skating. No one was pressuring Mitch Marner. And he sees that and is like, so I got a lane right to the net? Okay, fellas. And he just cuts to the net and beats the sprawling Igor Shesterkin, outweights him and buries it. A beautiful goal from Mitch Marner, and the Leafs pick up the W in OT. Shout out Willie Nylander, my boy, 400 points on his young career. Obviously putting up career numbers this season, but 400 for his young career, phenomenal job for him. Ilya Samsonov, remarkable. Can't blame him on either goal. Made a massive stop on K'Andre Miller in the first period. And every time he was asked to make a big stop later on in the game, maybe not like a 10 bell save later in the game, but in a 2-1 game or when it was 2-2, he had to make a couple nice saves, right? He made those stops. He kept you in the game, and when you needed that goal, he gave it to you. Or when you needed the save, he gave it to you. We talked about it yesterday, or the game against the Islanders, right? He allowed 2 goals, but then didn't allow anything from like the 5-minute mark onwards of the second period. Well, today he said kind of the same thing. They scored at 6:31 of the second period. Nothing the rest of the game. Now, the team defense really picked it up after that goal, because I think Sheldon probably laid into them a little bit, but overall they played a really good second half of the game. Shots and goal in the third period were 10-8, obviously, and 1-0 in overtime, and 35-29 for the game. You know, key players, Timothy Liljegren had a 2-point night, a goal and an assist. The goal was a tying goal, and the assist was the game winner, albeit it's all Mitch Marner, really, in overtime. But, hey, you'll give the cookie to Liljegren. He's been playing absolutely phenomenal this season, and it's a well-deserved couple points for him tonight. Just a really remarkable game for him, and a remarkable season. Let's be real, Leaf fans. He has been outstanding for this hockey club. Special teams-wise, neither team got it going. We were 0 for 2 on our power plays. Or, sorry, 0 for 3. They were 0 for 2. That was my girlfriend texting me. I don't know if you guys can ever pick that stuff up on the mic. If you guys do, let me know, and I'll just shut up about it. But neither team got a power play goal, so really nothing going on in special teams-wise. The next game for the Buds, they welcome in the Ottawa Senators to town on Friday night, 7 o'clock, puck drop. That team can score. They can't defend. And people are like, well, they only allowed 1 against the Islanders. I'm like, that's not saying much. It really isn't. They can score. But can they defend? No. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens on Friday night. Stats mean squat when it comes to the Ottawa Senators and the Montreal Canadiens. Doesn't matter what those teams look like and how competitive or non-competitive they are. It will be a dogfight right till the very end. I can guarantee it. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'm wrong. But I'm pretty confident it's not going to be that way. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and the W this evening, smack the like button. Do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. You guys not already, comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. What'd you like? What'd you not like from today's game for the Toronto Maple Leafs? The Twitter and Instagram links are down in the description. So follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. Discord link is down below, so follow up that page as well. And I will talk to you guys Raptors Edition very shortly. Well, not very shortly, but this evening. As they take on the Sacramento Kings starting that West Coast road trip. Let's get through it. And as for the Leafs, they're back in action like we talked about on Friday night as they host the Ottawa Senators at Scotiabank Arena. 7 o'clock puck drop there. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the W this evening. We'll talk to you guys then.